Hello everybody, Mr. B coming at you with the challenges facing South Asia quiz review. So this quiz review will be pretty short, it's only 7 questions. So let's get right to it. Quick note about this unit, Unit 8. It's not in the textbook. If you're looking in the big purple physical textbook that they sent you in the mail, it's not in there. There's no unit that matches this Unit 8. So what you have to do is you have to use the online resources, mainly the World Geography link in your lessons. That's the online digital textbook. Those are the resources you need to use to complete this unit if you need any additional support. So don't look for it in the big purple textbook they sent you in the mail. It's not in there. You have to use the online resources. All right, so the challenges facing South Asia quiz is the final quiz of the semester. We made it. And let's get started on the study guide. So we're going to start at the message board. And of course, we're going to go to the study guide page right here at the bottom. And then we're going to go to the challenges facing South Asia quiz study guide right here, right? This will open up the cool study guide. Of course, this is my copy of the study guide. You need to make a copy for yourself. If you have Gmail and prefer a Google Docs version, you're going to go to File, make a copy. Then you can add your name in here. I suggest, you add your name, replace the copy of part right there with your name, hit OK. It'll open the study guide in a new window. That will be your copy that will save to your Google Drive. So again, if you have Gmail and prefer Microsoft, or excuse me, prefer Google Docs, you go to File, make a copy. If you prefer Microsoft Word, you're going to go to File, Download Microsoft Word. So yeah, you can download a Microsoft Word version. It'll download the study guide in a Microsoft Word format to your computer. You can open it up, you can type in it, you can save it just like you would any Microsoft Word document. Again, File, Download Microsoft Word. All right, there you go. So let's get started on the study guide. The study guide is only 9 questions, a few more than the last one, but it should be pretty quick. First question asks you to place these events in order. So there is the correct order. First, the British government takes control of the East Indian Company territories. Then India's textile collapses. Gandhi organizes a boycott of British goods, and Britain withdraws from South Asia. So this is kind of a tricky one because typically the industry would collapse after the boycott of British goods, but the test is looking for this answer, or the quiz is looking for an answer that goes in this order. So to me, it makes sense that this would be 3 and this would be 2, but the quiz is asking for a very specific order. So that is the order that I want to make sure that you have so you can get points. So again, kind of something weird on the quiz, but there you go. 1, 2, 3, and 4 just kind of goes up and counts backwards, right? 4, 3, 2, 1. Question number 2. What factors contribute to high poverty rates in South Asia? And it asks you to list 2. So for this one, there's a few. You can have a large population with few opportunities, right? Basically, there is a lot of people there, not enough schools, not enough people are, there's not enough schools to support that many people, not enough teachers, there's not enough jobs, there's just not enough opportunities for the amount of people that are there. And then the next factor would be, sexism, which is the unequal treatment of women. Women in many South Asian countries, they're not able to work, they're not able to earn a living like women can in America and other countries. So when you take, half of your population and you say you're not allowed to work, you're not allowed to make any money, of course your poverty rates are going to be higher because half the population is not allowed to work. They're not allowed to contribute. So there you go. Question number 2. Question number 3 says, what factors contributed to the creation of Bangladesh in 1971? That would be East and West Pakistan fight a civil war. So you have Pakistan. It is right there on the kind of northwest border of India. And Pakistan used to be, larger. The east side of Pakistan was fighting the west side of Pakistan, and they ended up breaking off and forming the new nation of Bangladesh, right? So East Pakistan breaks away, becomes Bangladesh. West Pakistan is just Pakistan, right? Number 4. What is the dominant religion in India and Nepal? The dominant religion in India and Nepal would be Hinduism. Hinduism. We studied a lot about Hinduism during our early civilizations of India units. Hopefully you are familiar with that. And yeah, Hinduism is the dominant religion in India and Nepal. Question 5. True or false, caste-based discrimination has been outlawed in India and Pakistan. Again, we looked at the caste system. That was kind of their very rigid social structure that they had in India. And yes, that is true. In recent years, the caste-based discrimination has been outlawed. Remember, before you were born into a caste, that's where you were, right? You couldn't move out of your caste. The caste determined who you could marry, what kind of jobs you could get, where you could live. Now things are loosening up, right? So now they still have the caste system, they still have that kind of social structure, but you're not just stuck where you are, right? You're not allowed to be discriminated against based on the caste. So things are slowly changing with the caste system in India and Pakistan. Question number 6. Why are areas of arid climate not populated by people in South Asia? For this one, you need to know what an arid climate is. An arid climate is basically a climate that cannot support farming, right? So an arid climate is, it's dry, it's hot, there's very little rainfall. So yeah, when you have an area like that, where the ground is dry, there's not nutrients in it, there's very little rainfall, not a lot of water, it really can't support farming. And if you can't support farming, you can't support life, right? People aren't going to live there if they can't, eat there, right? If they can't grow food there. So arid climates mean that not a lot of people live in those areas. Question number 7. What factors contribute to the environmental challenges facing South Asia? There's a few. First would be pollution from motor vehicles. You remember, when we're talking South Asia, we're talking India and Pakistan. And India has 1 billion people. And they have a lot of people who are driving, a lot of cars on the road. And the thing about the cars is that they're not as fuel efficient as the cars we have in the United States. They're kind of running old cars with kind of old engines and transmissions and things, and they put out a lot more pollution than the cars we have in the United States. Not only that, the gas that they're burning is not as clean as the gas we burn in the United States. So basically all the different parts of driving, from the cars to the types of gas they use, it's all much more environmentally it's much more challenging for the environment, right? It hurts the environment a lot more, puts a lot more pollution in the air than the cars and the gasoline that we use in the United States. And the cars and the gasoline we use in the United States, they still put pollution in there. So you can only imagine how bad the pollution is in South Asia, where they don't have the same technology, right? So another factor would be pollution from industry. India in particular is going through kind of an industrialization where they're trying to kind of upgrade their country. They're trying to, industrialize their country, and they don't really have the environmental regulations and standards that we have in, say, the United States. So their industries just pollute. If they have waste, they just dump it into the water, because it costs money, right? It costs money to not pollute. It costs money to take care of your trash properly and to take care of your waste properly. And, if you have toxic waste or chemical runoff, all these type of things, it costs money to clean that and to make sure it doesn't get into the environment. And in India, they don't really care, right? Their industries, their businesses are just like, we're trying to make as much money as possible, grow as quick as possible. We're not worried about what's going on with the environment. So a lot of pollution comes from there. Next, you have agriculture, right? Agriculture, if you have 1 billion people in your country, you have to feed 1 billion people. And that takes up, a lot of agriculture. There's a lot of farming going on. And farming is, it's a pollutant, right? It puts a lot of pollution in the air, everything from, they burn fields to all the transportation things it takes and the engines and all kinds of stuff, right? So agriculture is a big polluter. And then the last one would be poor infrastructure, right? They don't have good roads. The electricity is not very good. The plumbing is not very good. All these kind of things contribute to things like, the sewage gets leaked into the rivers, and there's trash everywhere because they don't have trash pickup. A lot of stuff like that leads to some environmental challenges, right? Kind of leads to pollution. And so there's a lot of environmental challenges in South Asia, and there are the 4 biggest ones. I know it says list 3, but there's 4. Question 8, what factors are leading to poor economic growth in India? So those would be poor infrastructure. Again, they have poor roads, poor electricity, poor plumbing. It's kind of hard to have a job and you work in an office if your electricity is always going out, or you don't have the internet, or your roads are so messed up that you can't really get to work because the roads are so crammed and broken and busted. It's tough, right? So poor infrastructure. Next would be lack of investment, right? They haven't invested in their country, right? They don't invest in the infrastructure. They don't invest in the educational opportunities. They don't invest in the job training, because they just don't have the money, right? They don't have the money to invest in their country. 3, lack of educational opportunities. We kind of mentioned it before, right? The people there, There's so many people that not everybody can go to school because there's just not enough schools, not enough teachers. It's just they don't have enough resources, not enough money to pay for schools and teachers, right? There's just not enough educational opportunities to meet the needs of the massive population in India, right? They have 1 billion people. So stuff. And the next is overpopulation, right? There's just too many people. The country cannot really support that many people at the current time, right? Their infrastructure is not good enough to support that people. Their roads can't support that. Their electricity grid can't support it. Their plumbing can't support it. All these problems are kind of a result of overpopulation. There's just too many people for the amount of resources and that are available right now. So it's a tough situation in India. And question number 9, the last question, what is the dominant religion in Pakistan and Bangladesh? And that would be Islam, right? So the dominant religion in those two countries, Pakistan and Bangladesh, would be Islam. There we go. There is our study guide, all 9 questions. So if you have any question, want any clarification on any of this stuff, please feel free to reach out. And if not, good luck on the quiz. Talk to you all soon.